Good morning, it's Loren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica. You know, it's one thing to make excellent choices. You guys have been 100% raw for the last day and a half that you've been eating here. You've been doing it now for 5 days or so. It's been easy, hasn't it? It's all there is. It's the only option you have. And coming off a fast, your body is thrilled to have it and probably feeling great. Once you've been home for a while and you are surrounded by everybody else in the whole world doing everything but what we talk about doing here, it can be much more challenging for you. And so what I want to talk about today is how to make the best choices once you get home. How to consistently make excellent choices in a world that's not always so supportive of those choices. For most of you who've been here now with us for already weeks, we've talked a couple times about various aspects of creating a high level of emotional poise. And I bring that up because I'm going to suggest to you that that's the single biggest piece of how well you do making these choices in the real world. You know, people have frequently said things to me over the last 20 plus years like, raw foodists are strange people. And it's hard to argue with that. A, because I know some very strange raw foodists, and B, because when you think about the definition of strange, what it means is abnormal, different than normal. And clearly, anybody who chooses to forego eating cooked food, I mean, we could probably say the same thing about anyone who chooses to forego eating animal products, but when you choose to forego both animal products and cooked food, you are certainly doing something that is considered strange, definitely not normal by most people. In order to succeed doing anything that is not widely accepted by most people, you have to be not particularly invested in other people's opinions about your choices. But a lot of people are. So people have said to me, you know, I do pretty well at home, but if I'm with other people, I don't want them to think I'm strange. And so they make compromises every time they're with the other people in their lives. And first of all, I'm going to suggest that it's your life, it's your body, it's your health, it's your level of health and vitality. You know, virtually all of you, there may be one or two exceptions, but most of you came here because you had some specific issue or issues that you wanted to deal with. And one of the reasons I think that we wind up, and I was in the same place 30 years ago, very sick, one of the reasons I think we wind up that way is because we wind up bowing to peer pressure, to cultural pressures, to make conventional choices. So if you've become more clear about what's optimal for your body in the time you've been here, I would encourage you to be willing to live your true, authentic choices, whatever they are, regardless of what anybody else in your life thinks. It's not their life, it's not their body, it's not their health. They can think, say, and do whatever they want. The fact is that the only person that you know is going to be in your life for your entire life is you. Okay? Your friends and family, they may go away, I mean, like permanently, you know, forever, when they pass out of this lifetime, or you may move in separate directions. You can't live your life trying to please other people or fit in. It reminds me of one of the poems I read on a Sunday night several weeks ago about I don't remember the exact poem, but it was the blue masks. Remember that? He wore a blue mask and so did she, something like that. You know, the point is, these two people, they wore a mask, they were blue, I forget how it was. These two people have this one thing in common, looking for their soulmate, are wearing masks to fit in, and so pass right by each other and don't see each other. That's how it is. I mean, that's what's true. If you want to magnetize to you, attract to you, people who resonate with your real messages, with what you believe in, with what's really you, you have to actually live that. You don't want to be pretending to be something else to please other people. And frankly, you know, who cares about pleasing other people anyway? I mean, ultimately, I realized a long time ago, if the people in my life weren't comfortable with me because I ate differently than them, I didn't need them in my life. Now that may sound like a strong or harsh statement, but I want to be around people who care about me because of who I am, not because of what I choose to do, not because my choices are the same as theirs. It's great to be surrounded by like-minded people, but if someone rejects me because I'm eating cooked food, so I have to pretend I'm not eating cooked food, I have to pretend to do something else, I'm not interested. I don't need that relationship anyway. And one of the things you want to remember from back when we talked about this earlier, emotional poise, there are no such thing as healthy attachments. So no matter what relationships in your life you might be thinking about, you don't want to be attached to them. Allow them to be, and allow them to not be if that's what happens. Things come and go. I'm not so sure that any relationships in our lives are intended to be forever. So enjoy whatever relationships you have as long as you have them, and then don't be concerned about trying to make specific choices to be accepted so you can maintain this relationship. Who cares? If it doesn't really serve both of you, why would you want to be in it? So this is a significant part of this, because getting along, making these choices in the real world is really about whether you're accepted or not by people around you and how you interact with that. And you know what's an interesting thing I've noticed over the years, that in some ways people are like dogs, right? Perhaps more ways than one. But the particular way I'm thinking about, when does a dog, an aggressive dog, when does it attack?
When it's fearful, threatened.
When it feels threatened, when it smells fear, right? So people are the same way. People are the same way. This is what I've noticed. They will attack you, your choices, if they sense uncertainty in you around those choices. If those choices in any way threaten them, and that's what often happens. What's going on is, if you're sitting someplace making excellent choices, other people around you are going to witness that and maybe thinking, I should probably do that too, but don't want to. And so they attack. But they only attack when they sense uncertainty in you. People tell me all the time they get attacked for their choices. Clients of mine tell me that they go places and people attack them and they get harassed them because of the way they choose to eat and the choices they're making. I'm coming up on 23 years raw vegan. I don't get attacked. It's never happened. Why do you think that is?
It wouldn't matter if it did.
Because I'm completely comfortable with my choices and I honestly don't care what anybody else thinks. So they sense that. It's like there's no chink in my armor. There's no weakness there that they can get to. They can say whatever they want and I'll say, okay, that's great. I'm glad you believe that. I hope that works for you. It has no impact on me whatsoever. And I don't care who it is. Okay? Now, if you've never spent any significant amount of time before eating a raw vegan diet, especially the one that I recommend here based on mono meals of juicy, high water content fruits and simple green salads, you may not have the experience that I have to be able to say or believe, I know this works for me. You may not be able to say that. That may not be true for you. But you can still, what you can hold true for you is, if this is true, is I believe this is what's optimal for me. I would encourage you to stop engaging, stop looking at all the other things out there that are trying to turn you in other directions. Why bother? We talked recently about a client of mine who never gave anything a chance. We see people like that sometimes with this. You've probably known people that have tried a raw vegan diet, and after a few weeks they said, oh, this doesn't work for me. It's not very long. After a lifetime of making other choices, it's not long enough. Now, after fasting, you guys are not going to have the same curve that many people have. But you still want to give it some time. Again, 6 weeks minimum. Stick to the program. If after 6 weeks you think it's maybe not for you, you can try something else and then see how you feel. Most of you are going to instantly know the problems with whatever those other choices are. But so in general, when we talk about taking this back to the world, you want to get clear that the single most important piece is that you be confident about your choices. You be comfortable with your own choices. Don't feel the need to hide them in any way. I have a client who is in the entertainment business, and she never posts anything about being a raw vegan or about having fasted. And I said, it would be really great if you would speak up and say how great your experience was at Tanglewood. She said, I don't want people who are important to see that I did that. Why not? What are you worried about? I mean, you think someone's not going to hire you for a job because you fasted? You crazy person. We can't have people that fast here. What difference does it make? Live your authentic life. Okay? That's going to be the single most important piece. Because when you stop trying to fit in and stop trying to be okay, you can just live your own choices and do what works for you. Now let's talk about some specific strategies. With that, that's sort of the background piece. You need to have that in place. With that in place, some specific strategies. Another philosophical piece. Let me ask you guys a question. You ever been to a wedding? Bar mitzvah?
Yeah.
Christening, whatever. Why do you go to those things?
To celebrate.
It's for the food, right? For free food? No. Why do you go? To celebrate? To celebrate what?
The occasion.
The occasion with other human beings, okay? There's something going on there that you want to participate in. It's about being with people that you love, is it not? Okay, you want to be really clear about this. If that's what's going on for you, you want to be really clear about that, okay? Because, while some people might think it's only for the food, I hope that's not true for most of us. Right? We're going to be with people we love and to celebrate some important occasion. Be clear about that. So, because I've always been clear about that, I'm not the least bit conflicted. I don't have to eat their food. Okay? I'm not there for the food. I'm there for the people. I'm there for the relationships. So, anytime there's a social occasion where I might not be able to get my needs met the way I choose to meet them, I make sure I'm not hungry when I get there. Don't go hungry. Okay? Eat before you go. You're not going for the food. Make sure that you get all the quality food that your body wants before you even leave your home. And then bring some food with you. For those of you who drive, it's easy. Okay, most of the year it's not hard at all to have a bag of fruit in the car for a few hours. Right? Even when it's really cold, there are things you can take that'll be perfectly fine inside your car. Or if you need to, you can bring it inside. If it's cold enough that you're wearing an overcoat, guys, you can put 3 or 4 oranges in each pocket. Okay? Ladies, carry a big bag. Check it with your coat. If you need to excuse yourself and go eat some real food because you're hungry and there isn't any, you've got some. You've taken care of yourself. Don't leave it to chance. If you feel like you can't be there without eating and you're not sure there's going to be what you want, then make sure you take care of your own needs. That's only smart. Okay? And it's not hard to do. How hard is it to make sure you bring a little bit of fruit with you? Really. It's not that hard to do. Okay?